Okay, this is the last episode. This is talking about episode 12 of Rwby, and this is going to be the last of it until we get more information for the next season, which we do not know when it will come out. In all honesty, I think they do deserve a good long break again because they've given us so much. So much right now that it's like our brains are on overload. So hopefully, though, we'll find out something by the summer, though, because they always try to give us some sort of information. Especially since now they went from being a summer series to being a fall spring series. That's a big thing because it's like now we get to see for 2 parts of the year, and we just get half part of the year off, which is a good thing. Most likely they're going to take though 2 sets, so summer, maybe fall, probably, because there's so much that they're going to have to do. So there's a battle between Ozpin and Cinderfall. And damn is he fast. At one point there's a beginning battle thing, and all the students are battling all these creatures that aren't everyone but Rwby, Yang, Blake, and I think that's it. That of the group. Oh, and probably Ren and Nora, and Velva, because they're all knocked out, or at least hurt badly. I mean, hell, Velva was punched in the face by a robot. Anyway, so something happens where, I'm sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. So, Pyrrha and John just got out of the elevator to get away from Ozpin and Cinder, and Cinder comes up the elevator shaft using flame power, because now she has the full power of the Automaton, which means all hell's gonna break loose. And, Pyrrha does not want John to get involved. Now, we don't see this in the background right away, but there's a little, locker box. And I think Pyrrha still has her phone functional, so if you get what I'm saying. So, as most people know, when you have a big epic battle, it's like if you are two people who do care about each other, but your feelings have not been revealed yet to each other, and you want it's like do or die, you make sure that they know. Usually. Sometimes it doesn't happen and it sucks. In this case, we get to, and Pyrrha stops him with a kiss, and it's like, yes! Hallelujah! The angels are singing! It's like, I think, because remember, I have to wait a whole day before I get to see anything with Rwby using the Rooster Teeth website. And then YouTube, at least for episode 12-wise, waited a whole week before anything came out, so it was the following Sunday. And I wish I could have done my viewpoint on it, but I didn't get a chance to. And actually, when I get to the end of this, talking about this episode, it's like, I'm going to say this. The one thing I do remember, I will tell you, like, from my first original reaction, because it's like, I wish I could have done it again this time, but it's like, I'm tired. So, it's like, I'm still fan-shipping, I'm still happy. Well, I was happy at the time when, like, yes, Pyrrha, you smart person! And then she became a stupid person by pushing him into a locker. And then sending him away so he doesn't get hurt. Damn you, Pyrrha. But I think it was a smart thing to do, in all honesty, because when I get to that part, you will know. Now we're on the last page of notes. Now, Rwby, got caught up with the group. She finds out that her sister's arm's been cut off, and Blake is trying to comfort Yang, even though she's unconscious, by saying she's sorry, she didn't mean for this to happen, while she's still holding her gut, or the stomach where her stab wound is. Now, I can't remember why I put this, but I put what the hell Rwby. I'm trying to think, because I know that her and Weiss go, because they need to go grab Pyrrha, and instead something happens. Well, obviously Rwby goes up, and Weiss uses her little magic circles up from the dust to use that elevation kind of spell. But like I said, I don't remember at the moment, because right after I watched this, we were also watching Jimmy Fallon's Night After the Oscars, which is hilarious, somewhat. not all completely. And then we were watching the last two episodes of The Muppets. And like most people, when you get pulled into something, especially a ship, it pulls you in. As we knew that Miss Piggy and Kermit broke up right at some point before their series was going to be starting. I just asked my mother when we got to the end of this, do you think that they broke them up so they could get them back together again in this series, for this series? And my mom was like, probably. Or yep, or whatever. She wasn't really caring. But anyway, the whole Miss Piggy and Kermit thing, I'm like, I'm not gonna get pulled in. I'm not gonna get pulled in. I don't really care about the show because I didn't realize how stupid it was gonna be. Though actually, it is pretty funny. Um, and I got pulled in. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day, but I love the mushy stuff from time to time. Just not Valentine's Day. So then, we finally got to see. I mean, so Oh, now I know what that is. What the hell, Rwby? I'm sorry, I skipped over something. Um, so Pyrrha's fighting Cinder, and obviously Cinder's a lot stronger, than Pyrrha. So it ended up being when Rwby got up to finally to the roof where they were battling. Pyrrha shoots her with an arrow, and then turns her into some sort of gem or crystal dust something, and she scatters away. So that's where I cried when I first watched it the very first time I watched it. And my mom was looking at me like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, it's just something with the show. Just keep watching Sunday morning. So, yeah. And I mean, I still feel sad. I mean, that besides Penny, now we officially lost Pyrrha. Obviously, they're not going to bring her back unless there's something that Aspen or somebody can do, but I don't think that's going to happen. Then suddenly, with Ruby's rage, it all goes white. Even Cinder's like, what the bleep? I'm not kidding you. That's what I think she probably would have said. That's where I think what I meant by what the hell, Rwby. Finally, but then Rwby, here's Crow talking, and then when she finally officially wakes up, we get to see Yang and Ruby's dad, Yang Long, whatever his name is, which he was on the team with Crow, Ruby's mom, and Yang's mom. And obviously we can see the family resemblance. Yang looks like both her mother and her father. She has my thing, where it's like she has her dad's eye color and hair color, though except for when Yang gets mad, but she looks like her mother. Maybe a little less frizzy, more curly. Well, Rwby looks all like her mother. Speaking of Rwby looking like her mother, this is where it gets funny. I guess Crow keeps an eye on everything, like with his missions for Aspen and everything. But he is like, what's the first thing that Aspen said to you? And it's like, something about her silver eyes. I guess that's rare. And there used to be people with silver eyes that were warriors and great leaders and all that. Originally, I thought, okay, we finally found the Winter Maiden. When we saw with the whole white thing, I thought, white flash of light and everything, I thought we finally got the Winter Maiden. It's like, maybe her mom used to be that, and then now she's it, and it's like, maybe not, Sally. And it's like, that was so what I was looking forward to. So, then we get to her talking to Yang, and it's like, I feel so bad, because it's like, now Ying's gonna go through a bigger depression than what she was after the whole thing with Mercury. And, when you lose an arm, any war veteran will tell you that it is very hard to get over that and move on with your life. So, I guess months go by, and it's winter there, and Jean, Lee, Ren, and Nora go with Rwby to, I guess, probably Vale. So it's like, when we saw John, it's like, I feel so heartbroken for him. It's like, I feel so devastated. He hasn't felt this bad since he got, officially rejected by, or no, that was Pyrrha that gang, and she wasn't even rejected. It was like, she just didn't get acknowledged. I think that, this season's one, it's like they I mean, from the dance that they had last season up to this season, it's like they really have been touching on Pierre Jean's ship really well. And then we get to somebody talking. Now this is the person who I thought was talking in the beginning of Rwby's first episode of the series. Originally I thought, okay, maybe it's Glinda because Ozpin interrupts her. But there's a second thought now. Now I think that it might also be this woman. And I don't know if she has an official name yet. And this is the first time I've actually realized something with this character's look. Doesn't she look like the Winter Maiden from the original Legend a little bit? Maybe a little bit different hair design, but still she looks awfully familiar. I just can't think of who it is. And she's this one saying the stuff, and it's like, when she says the word snuff it out, I actually get really scared, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrifying when we get to find out more about this woman. I think everybody wants to know more about who this woman is. I think that's the biggest thing that everybody's questioning. That and the fact of when it starts up again. And then, like, during this woman's whole speech thing, before we get to the end and see what she looks like, we get to see Blake in the city trying to scourge, or look for, or stop Grimm's or whatever, and it's like, oh my gosh, poor Blake. I mean, like, I hope Yang doesn't blame her. I don't think she would. I mean, Yang's, like I said, she's going through a real depression, because, I mean, like, there is something to this, but Yang's not seeing it because she has lost her arm, and she's focusing on herself. She's scared. She's afraid. I know that means the same thing, but honestly, it can mean two different things. Scared and afraid. Being scared of something and being afraid of something can mean the same thing, but I sometimes think it does. So then we get to see, and I'm going to cut to a scene where we see Weiss on a plane, and then we get to finally see what Mr. Schnee looks like, her father. The guy that she said she loves so much, but he has to go through so much, so she doesn't want to deal with it. Like, he wants her to go to his school, or the school she's at, or that he runs, or something like that, or take over the family business when she actually wants to do more with her life instead of, I mean, her sister, I did not realize she was a rebel either. And then lastly, I will say this, do we know who the Ghost League is? No. Will we find out? Probably. Over time. When Rwby comes back for season 4. Most likely it will come back for season 4. Monty Oum, may he rest in peace, and yes, I know this is, Hunger Games, but I actually like the gesture. Planned out everything. So we will get to see more, hopefully, as long as it's in the budget. Heck, they just did a movie that's going to be out in theaters, or is out in theaters, so they should be able to get some good profit from that. So, lastly, so we know Crow can do a lot. He has an awesome scythe. He's the only other scythe user I've seen besides Rwby, which is where she got her her weapon from. She literally made her weapon based on his, though his is more clockwork. Now, everyone kind of thought he was the Scarecrow, but he's a lot smarter than you think. Now, the thing is, I kind of think Ozpin, Glinda, Ironwood, and Crow were, I wish Crow was on their team, but he turns out wasn't, so Glinda, Ozpin, and Ironwood I definitely think have been on the same team before. I don't know if anybody else has, or was with them. But, with all of his other abilities aside, and being an awesome drunk, he can turn into he can shapeshift into a crow. Funny. Very funny, Manio. Very funny. So that's about it. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about next. The only other things I will be talking about in the future most likely are Once Upon a Time, which starts this Sunday, which makes me very psyched because I don't have except for studying for my first exam. I don't have any other plans. Actually, I think I might have an exam on both classes. Great. I don't, and then when Steven Universe comes back, I don't have really much else I'm going to be talking about, especially since we're going to be getting close to summer soon. So there's not really much I talk about for the summer series, because unless I pick up a new anime. I mean, I just got done watching first season of Seven Deadly Sins that was originally on Netflix. Originally meaning somebody put it on another website, and it's actually pretty fun. So this is Valley signing off. I hope you enjoyed my views on Rwby. If we find out anything, because I'm gonna keep an eye out on the character things. That's all I ever keep an eye out for, and as well as the Facebook website, and YouTube account for Rwby, which is Rooster Teeth. I will keep you guys posted if I find anything out new, which you'll find out before I do. So, click like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Enjoy watching. If you want to look back at some of the old videos I did, just go onto my account, pretty much, and just go scrolling down. If you're scrolling down, you'll find out which ones are Rwby. Bye!